because I paid for them.
Welcome back to Family Tanks. I'm Zosia.
I'm Scott.
And today we'll be talking about, guess what?
Chicken pie.
No, we got new corals.
New corals?
Yeah.
I guess I knew about that.
Because I paid for them.
But yes, we got new corals for the reef tank and all sorts of new stuff, so we're gonna show you. Check it out. Okie dokie, so we got some new stuff for the reef tank, didn't we?
Why'd you do a silly voice?
That was not a silly. Okie dokie, good stuff for the reef tank. No, our local store had a sale, didn't they, Zosia?
Yes!
And what was the sale?
50% off.
Pretty much every coral in the store.
I know,
so we kind of went bonkers and we got a bunch of stuff, so we're gonna show you, right?
Yeah,
and I am gonna quiz you, Zosia, on what this stuff is, okay?
Oh, no,
So
I don't
our
like
first
clothing.
edition is this guy. Do you remember what that is?
Pretty dark orange color.
It is a Redactus mushroom.
Redactus.
So we added a
That's
Redactus to
interesting.
go with our Recordia, and then we also have our purple mushroom.
A purple mushroom.
Right? So that is doing really well. Let's see here, other new additions. What about this pink guy right here? Do you remember what that's called?
Bubblegum pink color.
No, that's a Gonapora.
You have like the best name remembering.
Yeah, well, because I'm a saltwater
How about
nerd.
the Wisby?
And there's Wisby, our royal grama, who didn't like to be in the camera before. Now he's a little glory hound. But yes, that is an encrusting Gonapora.
Did we tell our fans about our starfish?
We will get to that. And then we have another Gonapora,
I like this one.
which is, the Gonapora or flower pot coral, I believe this is a frag of one of those that are like, they grow the spherical skeleton. Because it actually looks like this frag was cut in a bandsaw to create what it is. But nevertheless, it is doing good and looking great. Let's see here. What is this purple guy we have up here? Let me see if I can zoom in. Do you remember what this is?
Idea.
This is a little frag of a Chalice Coral that we added. And it is
Chalice.
looking pretty awesome. And that should plate out from the top of that and look very cool. If Wisby gets out of the way, we've got this one, which I'm forgetting what it's called.
I know, but it's pretty.
For the life of me, leave a comment if you can help us identify this coral, because I completely flaked on it and forgot what it was called. But nevertheless,
Remember the
we've
spider.
added that one. We have added, let's see here, we've got some zoanthids here, which I believe are fire and ice zoanthids, but it's hard to say. There's so many different names out there that it's kind of hard to say.
I only know that
We
one.
added this encrusting coral, which I believe is a type of Monty, but time will tell as that grows. What do you think of this one there, Zosia?
It looks like a fluffy cloud.
It looks like a fluffy cloud. I think that is a type of lobophyillia. However, that might even be a meat coral. Again, by all means, leave a comment if you would like to weigh in and let us know what some of the identifications are here. Now this one, I'm almost positive is a lobophyillia, and we added that as well as Zosia, you know this one.
Duncan coral.
Yep, we added a second head of a Duncan, and if you look at our first head of Duncan that's right behind it, it has sprung 3 new heads already. So we are cooking with Crisco, right? That's an old school reference, but we are doing great. What else did you want to show people in here there, Zosia? There's a couple more corals and we got a few other things. Ah, yes. What is this guy? Do you remember what this guy's called?
Frenzy the starfish.
Ferenzi the starfish. Do you remember what kind of starfish this is? That's okay.
I only know like the basics.
It's a sand-stifting starfish. So he actually is always rooting through our sand. Let's see if we can get some close-up of the action. And you see his little feet under there, constantly moving around the sand, and he's looking for little organic bits.
You can see where he has been, all these little piles.
Yeah, you see these little piles he leaves behind, but he's doing a great job keeping everything clean. And then we also added a couple other things here. Up here, we've added a little frag of a branching Monty, and we're gonna see how that does. It's a bit of an experiment, but it's a little tiny, inexpensive frag that we figured we'd try. And it actually came from a head that is in this store's display tank.
Look at this one.
And then one more branching coral up here. Do you remember what this one's called?
I know it looks purple under blue light,
And
that's
again,
basically it.
I'll be the first to admit, having returning to this hobby after some time, I mean, I know the general groups and everything else, but this was identified to us as a type of bird's nest. We shall see in the comments whether or not that's correct. But if you have a different opinion of exactly what this frag is, we would love to hear from you.
Also, my favorite. The Gorgonian.
And then your favorite, the Gorgonian up here.
It looks so pretty.
Yeah, the Gorgonian's totally cool. And the cactus coral that we added, that was one of our first corals, is doing awesome.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, honestly, everything's doing awesome
Except
in
for
here.
the green star polyp, which is supposed to be the easiest.
Yes, the one thing that doesn't seem to be happy, to Zosia's point, is the green star polyp. It's closed right now because I actually brushed a little bit of algae that was growing on it off. And I know it'll open up in a couple days, but it's been a little reluctant. It is growing,
Yeah.
it is spreading, but it's been a little reluctant. And then up here we have a plating Monty. And this was a funny little frag we bought. They had these 4 little tiny flecks of this plating Monty glued to a frag plug. And I think we bought it for what, $5?
Yes.
And all 4 of those pieces have at least quadrupled in
Oh, you
size.
can see the turbos
So
now.
they're going, they're doing great. Now, the lights we use the current USA IC Pro lights, which are not super high output. But as you can see, all of our higher light corals, like the question mark bird's nest, the plating Montipora, and the branching Montipora over here, as well as the cactus coral, all sit within about 6 or 8 inches of the surface. So they're getting lots of power and lots of light. What does everybody think? What do you think?
I think it's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait for all these corals to grow, and the future of the tank.
So Zosia, I have to ask you a question.
What's the question?
How do you like keeping a reef tank? This is your first reef tank. I've done these before in the past, a long time ago, so I'm relearning a lot of this, as you know,
Not
from the
long.
species
It's
identification.
like 30 years ago.
Oh, it wasn't that long. It was 30 years ago. It wasn't 30 years ago. It was
30 years ago.
30 years ago. Okay, thank you for dating me. But seriously, how do you like keeping a reef tank?
Well, I think I'm more of a fishy. I'm not fishy.
You're fishy?
I-
Something's fishy with this kid. I don't know what's going on.
I love the fish and the animals. I love the corals. I just like looking at them. I'm not really that type of technical like you know the names.
The names and the families and stuff, but you'll get there. Part of the reason why we're doing this as a family is so you can learn this stuff.
I know the Duncan, the Gorgonian, and the green star polyp.
And we actually have a toadstool and a leather coral that we forgot to mention. So we've been putting a bunch of corals in. So we're at the point now with this tank that we're really going to
Wait for
let
it
it
to
kind of grow in and mature. You know, the tank is long since cycled. It's got a fair amount of biodiversity in terms of the, you know, the biofilm and everything's growing well. We've gone through the ugly phase. We have a really good refugium right now. So it's a good time for the corals. And now it's just a matter of time of letting coralline algae grow. And you're learning about the alkalinity and the calcium in the system, and just kind of let it go from there, right?
Wisby.
Wisby is finally out, because when we did our last update with Wisby, he wouldn't come out.
I know.
So everybody, there he is. Proof is in the pudding. We have a royal grama. Thank you everybody for all the support. Lately we've gotten some really awesome comments. My favorite comment just said, "The dad is a nerd." Epic. I am. I'm a dork. But, you know, we really appreciate everybody's support. It's been a super fun adventure with all of you, and especially with you, buddy, and
Yes.
doing all this and teaching this kid about some of the science. So we are going to keep making videos. You definitely keep liking them. Recommend our
subscribing.
channel and subscribe, and we will catch you on the flip side, right? Bye.
Bye.